Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Production Music Academy live stream event. We are going to be showcasing some funky music today. I hope you guys can all hear me loud and clear. I think I may have set it up properly for once in my life. I'm trying to get better at this live streaming thing. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me loud and clear. And thanks so much for being here. Looks like we got Andreas in the house. Welcome. Edwin's here. Awesome. Edwin, by the way, if you can hear me, I think I sent a request to access the track for the submission. If you can grant that, then I'll drag it into this Cubase session here. Loud and clear. Okay, excellent. All right, so it is a beautiful day here. It's a cold and beautiful day. I guess, bit of a rocky start to the new year for me. I've been pretty sick the last couple weeks, but I'm feeling pretty much, back to normal now. So apologies in advance, though, if I'm a bit sneezy or coughy during this podcast. I'm still kind of recovering, but I'm feeling good, and lots going on here. I'm trying to catch up on falling behind on work for the last couple weeks. So I've had a couple of really long days. This one's going to be a long one too, but I'm really happy to start it off this way and talk about this challenge. This is December's challenge that we're going to be showcasing today. It's the Funky Challenge. And I think we only have about 5 submissions today, which is cool. So it'll be a short and sweet one. But I have listened to them so far and they're awesome. And I'll open up the funky track that I wrote over the last month or so. And it is also the same track that I feature in the funk course, which is going to go partially live today in the Academy. At least the writing, mixing, and mastering components are going to go live today. That's what I'm going to post. So for the members, I hope you enjoy that. There'll be some other modules in the weeks to come, but I thought I would post the writing stuff first. All right, so welcome, everybody. Let's get right into this. I'm going to start with submission number 1. And I believe that is from Andreas. Andreas, you're first up. So let me pull up what Andreas had to say here about his track. This track is called I Want You. And Andreas says, it started with a loop. Excuse me. It started with a loop from native instruments, then changed some instruments like the bass, added different guitars. When the instrumental was done, I added some vocal samples and made some edits. This time I took some special time for a better mixing and mastering. Let me know if you see an option for a library. Okay, great. Oh, I forgot I tried to install this. Does this comment thing work? Hold on a sec. Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. I can post comments. Excellent. Hey, Willem. Hey, Jens. Glad to see you guys. Thank you, Edwin. Okay, actually, before... I'll remember to do that because I'll come to your submission here. So we'll get Edwin's submission here in the mix, but let's feature Andreas's track here, I Want You. Okay, let me just switch this over. 1 second here. All right. Here we go. Hopefully, you know what? I'll just do a little quick teaser here to make sure that the music is coming through. You guys can let me know if you're hearing it. You guys hear that? Sorry for the teaser, Andreas. I just want to make sure that I don't screw this up like last time. Last time I played a whole track and there was no music coming through at all. Hey, Allan. Welcome. Okay, yeah, it came through? I'm scared. It's hard for me to actually monitor whether it's working or not, but okay, I think it's good. So I'm going to play this track. Sorry. Here we go.
I want you.
What an opener. That is a great way to start off this challenge, man. Yeah, Andreas, you got a knack for writing super catchy lines, man. Really, really great stuff. I think the crowd agrees. Yeah, fantastic, man. Great energy. Love the vocal. I don't know. Yeah, what can I say? It's excellent. The only thing I would point out is like the master is a bit squared off, but it didn't sound bad. Like the mix is nice. There's a lot of clarity, a lot of spatial. It just felt like nice and open and wide. So I really appreciated that. And just what a super funky high energy way to start this challenge. Absolutely awesome. I can't remember what you said about. Did you mention the bass? Did you mention the bass in your comments here? Just reading through it here again. Like the bass and added some different. Okay, so tell us about the bass. Was that you playing? Because I know you play a bit of bass. That slap was awesome. Yeah, totally agree with Edwin here. Super funky. Love it, man. Thank you so much for that. Okay, we're going to move on to the next submission, which is from, let's see here, Willem. Okay, Andrea says, thank you, started, but at the end used a sampled slap. Fair enough. I can't play slap like that. It's crazy. That's really hard to play. Okay, so thanks again, Andreas. Willem, we got a track here from Willem called Funk to the Groove. Thank you so much for sending this over. What does Willem have to say here? So I used I Feel the Groove by Awesome Music on Motion Array as a reference track. I scrolled through some of the Arturia Analogs Labs bass presets and came across Chameleon Bass. It reminded me of Neon Indian's 2010 hit Deadbeat Summer, sorry. Paired it with ample bass and layered both of the ES2 sine bass for extra sub. For the drums, used Logic's funky songwriter's session drummer with its Latin percussion session drummer. To get the brass right, layered Logic's studio brass with 3 of Analog Labs keys instruments: Clean Funk, Clav, Cyber Chords, and Soul Sacrifice. Huge thanks to Nathan's new disco course for teaching me how to get the brass just right. Yeah. And shout out to Nathan. He's going to be showcasing some brass techniques on this funk course as well, which are really, really cool. The melody is shared by an electric piano, FM like Analog Labs, a flute, Persian ney from Native Instruments acoustic line, and vocal ear candy from Native Instruments Glaze. Awesome. Sounded fine. I left it there, but deep down I felt that something was missing. Then over the weekend I went to the bakery where I heard Unknown Mortal Orchestra's Can't Keep Checking My Phone. I turned to my wife and said, my song needs a tambourine. I love that band, by the way. Cool. Groovemate 1 helped me out there, and here we are. Okay, enjoy. So let's check this out. Here we go. Willem, Funk to the Groove. Nice. With the slowdown. Nice touch there. I love that. Great job, Willem. I love that the horns kind of come in and surprise us at the end here. And I particularly like the flute. And, it's funny. I was kind of looking around for like a VST that would serve as like a really good funky flute for my track. And I had a trouble finding like what I wanted to hear, which was sort of like a tight, funky, like dry flute. Because a lot of the flutes that came up in my searches were like more on the cinematic side. So I'll have to check out the flute that you mentioned there, because that sounds pretty cool. I ended up using the West Africa flute, the Fula flute in my track, which kind of got the job done. But yeah, as soon as I hear the flute in a funky track like this, I get excited. It just sounds so cool. So I think you did a great job there. Nice. Laid back groove. Totally vibing on that. Great stuff. Yeah. So if you guys have any other flute recommendations for like funky flute, let me know in the comments. I'm on the lookout. Okay. Thanks again, Willem. Awesome stuff. Great start so far. Okay, so let's move on to the next submission here, which is from, who do we got? Okay, Edwin, you're up next. So let me just quickly grab this track from online here. Bear with me one sec. All right, download this. And let's throw it in Cubase. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do, da-dun-dun-dun. You got that in my head now. Ba-na-na. Oh, and the bass was cool too, Willem. I like that funky synth bass. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, totally. Infectious grooves. Okay, sorry, got sidetracked. Okay, let's read what Edwin had to say here about his track. It's called Feel the Funk. And he says, for this composition, I went all in with a sample-based approach. I kicked off by tweaking a funky bass sample and layered it with groovy sounds of session bass, prime bass. I kept mixing in some drum breaks and percussion until my head couldn't stop bouncing to the beat. For the track, I brought in the vibrant tones of the electric mint guitar, added some shimmering blueprint chimes and keys, and crafted the melody using synths from the free version of Analog Lab. And those brassy horn players are all killer samples. Nice. Yeah, electric mint guitar is so awesome. I picked that up for Black Friday, and I've really been making good use of it. So nice work. Okay, cool. So let's switch to DAW view here and let's hear it. Dude, killer work. Yeah, I love the way that you start this off with this riff. Just such a great way to start the track. Nice riff, man. Yeah, that sounds great. All the brass is fantastic. Really, really good stuff, man. Also, I appreciate the breakdown too. I think that's something that that's kind of essential, for at least, to make it a little bit more licensable. Having this like breakdown section, a couple of you guys did that really well. Just want to point that out, that this really works for me. Great energy shift there into the keys, out of the drums and into the keys like that. Really, really cool. Strong work. Nice glassy sounds indeed. Indeed. Yeah, great stuff, man. Thanks so much for sharing, Edwin, and I'm glad that you were here to give me access to the track. I was worried there when I saw that this morning, but I was worried I wasn't going to be able to showcase it, but really, really glad that we got around to that. So thank you so much. Let's see who's next. Oh, James. I saw James in the chat here. Welcome, my friend. Glad you could make it. And James had a few things to mention here about his track. Let me pull that up. So this track, I believe, is called Funkies. Funkies, one word. James said, was looking for a 70s chilled out funk feel dominated by keyboards rather than, say, guitar or brass. Hence the title. Think I was a bit lazy with the rhythm track and probably relied too much on almost unadulterated bass and drum loops. Also, I'm still on the fence about the vocal samples I kept in there. Used mostly built-in Ableton sounds plus a weird combo of best service medieval trumpet and BBC Spitfire orchestral horns. Ableton brass is non-existent, so Steve's latest YouTube video on brass software options is a godsend. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, so I was glad to put that out on Monday, and it's been over a month since I put out a YouTube video, and I was excited to talk about brass because it's something I've kind of been experimenting with a bit lately, this last month with the funk course and stuff. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. There's a few recommendations for what I think are some of the better brass libraries out there. And then a few people left some suggestions in the comments. There's one library in particular, I can't remember the name, but it's sort of a big band brass library. Someone mentioned in the comments that I checked out, and it was really, really cool too. So there is a lot of options out there for brass. I think some of the more familiar ones are probably like Native Instruments session horns. But I really like East West's Hollywood Pop Brass, and if you got a subscription to East West, it's really cheap. And I think they pack in a ton of value there. So yeah, go check out that video. But yeah, let's listen to James's track. Thanks so much for sending this over, man. Here we go. Funk Keys. Oh man, so cool, James. There's so much that I like about this track. I was just trying to think of all these points in my head as I was listening to it. First of all, I love the dry drums and like the tight production. Like it's very, very 70s. I think you killed the 70s vibe on it. Great job on writing a funky track that doesn't feature like guitar. The clav totally makes up for it, and it just feels super groovy. And I feel like this is like a really, I feel like there's a licensable sync friendly vibe on this type of track, just because it feels like I instantly, I don't know what, it just bring it, like in my mind I imagine a scene where it's like a walking scene. It's a scene that's building up to some sort of like it reminds me of like the gangsters walking in Reservoir Dogs or something like that. I don't know. It conjures up a lot of cool imagery for me, and I think you did a great job with the mix. It has a warmth, like a vintage warmth to it. So I think you did a fantastic job. The only thing that I would say, and I think you kind of mentioned this in the comments that you sent over, is just the horn vibe. It doesn't actually sound too bad at all. Like the line is great. All the vocal samples too, like really nice, that really tasteful. The only thing I would say is that you could probably find a more suitable horn, like a brass virtual instrument for the track. Something that would, I imagine something like a little bit tighter, more intimate. And I think that would probably, as you already know, just be a matter of stepping away from like the more orchestral type brass samples and getting something that's like, more suitable to like a funky, intimate sort of feel. So the horn line sort of feels like off in the distance a little bit. It would be cool to get more of like an ensemble feel from that line, but the line itself is great. It's simple, it's effective. Yeah, great stuff, man. Really, really good. Really good. Super, super funky. Fantastic work, man. Okay, cool. So thanks so much, James. And let's see what's next here. We got a track from Allan. And let me pull up Allan's comments here for you guys. Sorry. So this track is called Keep It Real. And Allan says, this time I tried to use less loops and samples. So I recorded live bass and played in the horns MIDI. Native Instruments Session Horns Pro. Excuse me. And most of the drums. Although I am a guitarist, the guitar licks are still splice. Cool. Let's check this out. Thanks for sending this over, Allan. Here we go. Oh yeah, nice. Great work with the session horns. And yeah, I should point out this is another great example of using an effective breakdown here with especially with the filtering out. Really tasteful. bringing it back in slowly. Awesome. And the party sample, the really great use of samples here. And I should also point out that one thing I really, Andreas says dancing here. Yeah, totally. One thing I really like about this track is your use of the different articulation sets that come with Session Horns Pro. You can really hear that. And it adds a lot of realism and a lot of dynamic to the horn line itself, which just adds a ton of flair to the whole thing. So these are, really, really nice. And great work on finding guitar samples from Splice. That can be tricky sometimes to find the right ones and to make it work for the track. So very, very good. Yeah, Andreas says Session Horns are fire. They are great. They are great. They're just solid, absolutely solid. I think you got, like, in my opinion, you have to work a little bit to make them sound sort of right. I don't know what the right word is. Like right out of the box, they sound a little bit strange sometimes. Bit of EQ and some processing sometimes helps them a bit. But I've heard people make insane arrangements with the Session Horns Pro, and it comes with a lot of great articulations. So all around solid library for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna just quickly take a minute to pull up my funky Cubase session here. I think this just might take a minute to load. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for the submissions so far. Absolutely fantastic. And I had a really fun time writing my track. It took me a while, to be honest. I did a lot of experimenting, and then of course I got really sick for a while, and that kind of was a bit of an obstacle to getting it finished. But pretty happy with the way it turned out. And one thing I want to showcase on this track here, just give me 1 second, I'll pull it up. But I really enjoyed using the Soulfi drums from Teletone. It was the first time that I really got a chance to use them in a track, and I'll showcase that in just a second here. But they sound super vintage and cool, and it really worked for the track. They're a bit thin, but like I said, it's got a really nice sort of vintage feel to it. Okay, so let's pull up here, and hopefully this will work. I'll just play through the track, I guess. Hopefully everything's loaded. Let's give it one playthrough. I sort of featured this a bit in my YouTube video on Monday, but I'll play the whole thing. there it is. PMA Funk. I don't have a title for it yet. Maybe I'll just call it PMA Funk. Thanks, Allan. Yeah, you know what? That is actually one thing I was going to talk about is the drums are so easy to work with because they have all of this variation MIDI and like fill MIDI built into the library itself. It's super easy to use and really customizable. I totally recommend this. I don't see like a lot of people talking about Solfi on YouTube or anything, and I just think it's like a fantastic library. There's all kinds of different kit selections, different sounds. There's tons of tweakability. There's all kinds of different, like I said, yeah, it's like there's tons of different MIDI arrangements that you can kind of just put in. So it's super, you'll see in the course that it's like really easy to just take a fill section and just like throw it into the track and customize it. It's an excellent library for drums. Although, as you can hear, it has sort of like a thin sound to it. So I just basically doubled the kick with like a sample to kind of sub it out a bit. But I was going to do that for the snare too, but I didn't want to take forever with it. So there's a bit of a sub sample there for the kick. I use the Scarby Rickenbacker bass, which is kind of an oldie. I think it's been around for quite some time, which has a nice tone to it. Although I think that there's I wish they had a few more, like in the later releases for like Native Instruments guitar libraries, they have a lot of really interesting little effects that they've thrown in. For example, like a little dive would be really cool. Like a doo, if you could do that with this bass. Like I think they have that on the Icon bass. So little things like that would have been really useful. But as it is, it pretty, nice sounding guitar. And has that kind of hollow, funky tone to it, which I like. I don't know if hollow is the right word for it, but it has bite. It has some bite, which I like. So yeah, as you guys know already, the Session Horns Pro, the Hollywood Pop Brass from East West is what I used for the brass, and then I doubled it with this flute. Speaking of flutes, but it's really low in the mix. It's just kind of like texturizing these horns in a nice way, and then I'm also using the swing trumpets and the swing more sax to kind of fill out the horn sound. So yeah, I think Hollywood Pop Brass is pretty sweet, pretty awesome. I like it more than Session Horns Pro, but I guess it's all a matter of like what kind of sound you're after. Electric guitar. This is using Guitar Rig. Nothing fancy, just like super clean. And we got the electric home piano from Westwood, some Omnisphere. Really simple. I just try to keep everything really simple. Got the sample chop. Awesome. Thanks, Edwin. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. And yeah, basically, everything else is sort of percussion loops, that kind of thing. Samples, shakers. Bit of a party sample in there, which I think added some cool texture. And some vocal one-shots, transition samples, that kind of thing. That's really it. I try to keep it light on like the risers and the build-up stuff. I wanted to keep it sounding pretty natural, but there is some some risers here. which is a bit EDM-y, but it works. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some tambourines here at the end. And that's about all I can say about this track. It was, I guess it's, for how long it took to write, it is pretty simple. Oh, hey, my pleasure, Andreas. Thanks for listening. I guess that's it. Yeah, so I'll wrap it up there. But this is a short and sweet live stream, which is good because I got a ton of work to do today, including publishing the writing, mixing, and mastering components for both mine and Nathan's tracks in the Production Music Academy. That's on my list of things to do today. Sorry I didn't get to that sooner. I know I meant to. But they are both complete. So I will post those today at some point. I really hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, thanks again for sending over these fantastic submissions. This was a lot of fun. All right. Wishing you all well. Have a great day. And I will see you in the Academy. And one other thing that I'm going to do today is post the challenge for January. It'll be slightly easier, I think, than Funk. So you'll have a solid 3 weeks or so to get it done, which I don't think will be a problem at all. I think you guys will enjoy it, but I'll keep it a mystery for now. And yeah, check out for that notification later today. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you all. And I will see you soon. Have a great day.